is, in my estimation, a much better team, so long as they don't let the nerves get to them, because they need this win and then one more, and they do get a direct invite to TI.
Yeah, so
maybe actually they would pass eHome.
Right now on the numbers, they're 379, and they have to surpass eHome at 629.6 to be exact.
But no one here is really trying to do the math, Toby. The point is, Alliance need top 8, and even that, well, actually, it would end up being enough if I'm not mistaken, because they would beat RNG in the next round were they to make top 8. But first, of course, let's
focus on the game. The 1v1 matchup.
Yep.
Tiger's going to get to take his Enigma towards the jungle.
Yeah, I really like the opener Alliance pulled out. I think in a BO1, starting off with Enigma Mars is a way to go. You've already got an answer now to BKB. You've got great team fight, tower pressure. It just checks a lot of boxes right off the bat.
It always feels kind of sad that when you see an Enigma that has to go like Bassi early on. I know it's how Enigmas have to run with the conversions these days, because it's the only way to keep him alive. But it just always feels a little bit more inefficient than the old Enigmas.
I like the ward they placed as well from Infamous. They're blocking out one of Taiga's camps. When you start this Bassi, you need both camps available.
They need a contested too. Well, there's going to be Infamous who will claim 3 of the bounty runes. We'll have to move back over the other side of the river to pick that up. Peter's got that.
Yeah. I really like, there's a lot of players in South America that I think are going to have good careers as the years go by. Pepita's definitely one of them. Guy is trying so hard to get a team that works. He swapped to hard support to make this team a possibility, but he was mid, he was off lane, one of the hardest working players in the region, possibly in the game itself, and really good guy as well.
And this Infamous team really does feel like a bunch of guys that have just been trying to make it work for a while. We're looking at one of the biggest ones right now in the mid lane, Black. We had his interview previously. It's I'm living in Southeast Asia, but I couldn't make a team work there. I needed to find somewhere else where I could actually compile a team that wanted to play together and also wanted to win.
Yep. I'm a big fan of Biver as well. He's an old school Han player that just has a ton of drive and potential. He wasn't the most mechanically skilled player at the start of his career, but he's just been grinding it out over the last year or two. Finally in a position where perhaps he's got a chance to make some waves. I think he didn't play for Alliance for a bit, did he?
No, he was always part of SK. He was part of the older Danish stacks. Because it was Hessajo and Biver kind of floated around there. Who's was that was when Ace used to be playing for them. They had Rise, and this is old days of Dota that they all played together.
Yeah. They're in a tough spot in this game just because it's so difficult for them to take huge 5-on-5 engagements. Alliance should always have that advantage just because they have so much AoE and then the burst damage as well. I love when you pair high lockdown supports like Lion together with high reach cores like Storm, because you have so much immediate follow-up and both heroes can set up for one another quite well. And then of course Troll, one of the higher physical DPS carries in Dota, especially with the ult popped.
Yeah. As long as he gets a little bit of space to work with, that's it. And the entire Alliance team does exactly that. They create space. Is the reason why Mars is one of their go-to pickups, no matter where it is in the draft. But Infamous, they've got Team Global. They've got the ability to try and kite back and dodge back out. The IO is fantastic for this as long as it doesn't get jumped. You've got Stampede disengaged. You've got Ember Spirit, who can always have a defensive spirit up and running. So it feels very difficult for Alliance to nail that jump perfectly if Infamous are prepared for it.
Yeah, and I'm a bit concerned for Infamous already. They're losing all their lanes, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Plus, there's an Enigma in the 4th lane, of course, the jungle, who's also free farming. Taiga was able to de-ward the medium camp early on, and the downside of blocking these camps is that it's very easy to find it, and now that sentries have been nerfed in terms of cost, it's always value, even if you have to use 2 sentries to find that ward. It even gives experience. So it's very risky to try and block camps. That's why we don't see it done very often, and make Taiga, of course, recognizing this, buys one immediately. And then I take back what I said about liking they block the camp, because it really just buffs the Enigma's farm.
Yep.
And you got pulls now bottom. Alliance has double stacked this camp, so they're going to be able to deny back the wave. Infamous will lose some experience out of this. And yeah, this is never a good sign if you're trying to win a BO1. If you lose all 3 lanes...
Yeah.
You don't need to do the math to know what your chances are.
Yeah, this isn't the start you're looking for, because you're also looking for the gyrocopter to be able to be a big impact. We've seen an IO gyrocopter already during the playoffs, and it came from lane harassment. It was running down heroes, but they can't really find a way to run down Mars. Coinfer is that other big cannon of Alliance. He gets off to a good start, and he rolls with it. We're seeing his Quarps, we're seeing his Storm Spirits just dominate everywhere on the map, and all it takes is an easy rotation. Hester Joe and Pepita looking to get a little bit more aggressive on Insania. We still haven't had the first blood yet. Do we have it yet? Insania moves to the trees, gets the stun out. McKay trying to make sure Pepita cannot actually connect on him, and Insania hiding in the trees. He's soaking out the mana, but Hester wants to come in, gift this, and he's able to do so. Pepita, is there any way to save his life? There is not. While Ember Spirit dies him mid, there's that cannon. You wait to pop off.
That was a really nice rotation. Looks like Taiga came in from the back and ensured the kill. Koifa dominating middle at the moment, and you know, NBA just gave out their end-of-year awards, and if we had them in Dota, I think my most improved player would have to be Koifa. I think at the start of the year, he had a lot of trouble adjusting to what the new mid was. You know, this playmaking rotator. Koifa traditionally was like this Radiance Midas buyer, and he's revolutionized his play style, and he's quite good at it, in truth. It's a big part of the reason Alliance has improved so much over the course of the season. Boxy getting a nice pull-off. Not much Biver can do to prevent it, of course, as Taiga's already rotated to bottom jungle to just try and control these bot bounties.
It's actually amazing how well Alliance have done ever since Koifa's come back into their lineup after having to stand in for what seemed like an eternity. 5-minute bounty runes. Looks like Infamous will again be able to claim Lion shares. There's going to be 3 of them going their way. Black has abandoned the middle lane. He's just farming up inside the jungle. Not the greatest scenario you want to have for an Ember Spirit when you're 5 minutes into the game.
No, definitely not.
But the advantage isn't beyond irreparable. Like, it's 1,000 gold 5 minutes in. And now you see just how they cannot pressure Boxy. One quick spear.
In fact, but you got to be careful here. Yeah, I figured there'd be a teleport coming in. Biver's in a lot of trouble.
That's Koifa. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, but it may be enough. Biver, he's going to have to tether himself back down again and try and keep Skitter alive, but it's still, will it? Maybe with the Fairy Fire, he's giving him so much regeneration, but Boxy, with the Skewer Fort, actually helping Skitter get away. Oh, I don't know if he exactly wanted to do that, but they had no more damage that could reach him. So it was worth the shot. Shrine will be burnt, and Alliance will have to reset. A rotation for no kill.
Yeah, but you're fine with that. Again, you're winning all your lanes, and you know the gold doesn't look too bad for Infamous, but if we were able to check out the XP, you'd see a big advantage going Alliance's way. And the big concern is Black's game right now.
He's got himself a kill. Syrian chains up just to make sure Insania can't connect. There's a double damage rune. The Black did not want to have to burn. He's got it stored inside the bottle. That would have made that kill a little easier, but he wants to save it.
Yeah, I like the decision to do so. He needs to get into this game. Black is the one that will key for Infamous. He wants to buy space for the gyrocopter to come online. Then they can start getting active as a pair, the Wisp and the Gyro. But Black is the playmaker, and if you're going to deal with the Enigma and the Mars, it's going to be on the back of some rotations from this Ember Spirit. I would like to see him use this DD sooner rather than later. Nice triple Shrine efficiency from Alliance. Taiga's actually rushing HOD. There's 2 different styles. I kind of prefer Yapsor's method. I'm surprised more people don't copy it, considering he's 17-0 on the hero since TI. He's always going for the Arcane's mech build for the most part. But I
think that works though when you play with Team Secret, because he's all about like, okay, I group up together and I enable everybody else, as opposed to I am the initiator, I'll need to push. He lets everyone else do the push.
Relatively static game so far, but you gotta feel like Alliance is comfortable with this based on how they've drafted. I said they have the better reach, initiation, and team fight, and Infamous just kind of content to sit in their lanes and trade farm. But bear in mind, there's always Taiga in the jungle, accelerating as this 4th core on Alliance.
Yeah. But it does feel like they can't do anything. Like, until Stampede is up, until Relocate's available, and until Gyrocopter is actually a threat. What do you even do? Like, you want to gank a target.
Yeah.
Everyone survives. You can't stand on top of the troll because he'll survive. Hester Joe's in a lot of hurt as Pepita has to come in with a quick Nightmare. This allows Joe to back up.
Really liked how Mickey played that. You could see him dance forwards, get the melee axes off, and immediately, as the stun faded, back out of range, switch range for him to ensure that he wouldn't catch a stomp. Force the TP, which means that the Bane will no longer be able to pressure as Koifa looks to start farming enemy jungle. I really like this decision. No need to take your own woods, and they're going to try and connect top. The HOD is active now on the Enigma, so if they want to fight top, it's still just level 5 on this duo
They're wrapping around him. Koifa, Nightmare to set up. Black has to keep him in position. Io as well as Gyrocopter are moving over. Koifa may beat off a little more he can chew. He has a haste rune available. Ball Lightning's down, and with that high movement speed, he doesn't have to burn any more mana to keep the run away from the homing missile going.
I like his decision to not try to juke it there, but instead just tank it to their face after running a bit further away. Surprised Black didn't go. He didn't use his Flame Guard or any of his remnants.
He lets the arena up. Biva trying to get caught in the edge. He's actually bouncing around. Just there's never any hit because they're battling around the side. Now Tiger, okay, they'll cancel off the Black Hole. Just get to get some distance. I have the only one to go down so far, but the conversions are still here, and Koifa has returned to the engagement. A quick stampede, but the Vortex pulling Skidder back in again, and Black, what's he going to do? He could root up Koifa, but now he's in the middle of 3 heroes, and he doesn't have any kind of extra help. Koifa's able to Ball Lightning himself away. Black so low in life. Finally, he's going to go down to all those conversions of Enigma. There was non-stop damage, and with the buyback from Biva, he may die as well. He's got Tether back off cooldown, and what's close to him? Pepita back to the tier 1 tower and out to safety. He could not afford to die back there.
That's a second big error there from Black. Remnanting forwards, but not on a disable, so Koifa just zips away. Biver ends up wasting his buyback because his Ember Spirit has used every one of his abilities and dies, and that is one of the downsides of going for the Soul Ring style instead of the bottle. You don't really provide any true regen as you teleport back in, and yeah, Black still just level 7 as well. Not a great game.
It's kind of surprising if your team goes Soul Ring, considering Infamous have to be controlling up so many of the bounty runes, because that's normally where you get your free refill. The top rune's not going to be contested by Infamous, so this will be 2 runes to Alliance on the top. It's like Koifa's able to grab the one on the bottom.
Infamous, this is how they'll want to play, is just with pace. And so far, Alliance have been the ones taking it to them. I'd like to see Infamous get involved. They're behind in experience, but they'd get so much if they would just, if they find some opening to get a skirmish. Relocate will almost be prepared as soon as these stacks go down. Top lane.
Joe's already been started on, so they want to relocate. They're still farming up at the moment. Maybe best just to let Hester Joe die, as they cannot get there in time to save him. Boxy will claim that kill.
And just
that
too
means
strong.
the tier 1 tower with it.
They got so much sustain as well thanks to the HOD. Free tower for the side of Alliance, as both Koifa and Mickey are still farming alone, freely, in their own lanes. I love this build from Mickey as well. He was going for the Diffusal, now he'll switch to the Maelstrom. But either way, he gets the Maelstrom Diffusal. I like it a lot, and I think that it's the ideal replacement if you don't want to go for the Battle Fury. I see a lot of trolls going sometimes like Sanjin Yasha or like just pure Yasha, but I feel like this Diffusal Maelstrom, whatever one you pick first, just provides way more value. Either farming if you go for the Maelstrom, as we can see him switching to, or the moment you have Diffusal, you are so strong, and it burns 50 mana a hit. When you're playing against heroes like Centaur, like Wisp, like Gyro, it's very punishing.
And this whole game feels punishing against Infamous. Like, I'd like to see that happy kind of world where they can get the initiation off, and if that fight on top lane went a little bit better, I'll say Infamous was on the same page. But Alliance just feel like they're rolling through the motions. We've seen this from Alliance before, and as you've mentioned, this does seem a lot easier for them to execute. Koifa just needs to find his back target. They've all consumed up their tomes, so everyone's got ultimates available. When Lion has Finger of Death, Infamous getting the upper hand in these fights is even harder. I'm very concerned that Infamous just won't have a real answer, and I don't see an item that actually gives them that answer either.
It's going to be Black, but I just don't like the way he's playing this game so far, Toby. It's when you're behind his Ember Spirit, how many times have we seen mid one get involved constantly? He'll trade his body, does not care. He gets aggressive, he helps his team, and ensures that kills are happening around the map. But when you're one playmaker on the side of Infamous is currently farming his own hard camp, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is not what you're looking for. Alliance are continuously out-farming you around the map every minute that goes by without any action.
He started Fist of the Conversions, which took practically no damage. If Conversions won't take any damage, how much do you think the heroes are going to take?
They take bonus damage, though.
They do.
Like, you have Relocate up. You've got Grip. This is the time, Infamous. You've got to get out onto the map, because currently Alliance are farming as 5 heroes in 4 different places. And this is just not a winning scenario for you. Troll just completely unpressured. 2 wards to secure his location as well.
And if Infamous remain on the northern side of the map, Troll's just going to start taking towers. But you said it yesterday, right? Like, in this meta, you can't just abandon the lane. There's too much that goes missing. Gold and experience. Now Alliance want to try and smoke up. They'll use the Line in the Storm. Just together they can kill anybody because that Finger of Death burst.
And they're smoking straight towards the top lane.
The ulti? Yep. Boxy. Gonna skewer him against the side, then jump forward. Just want to use your finger to get the plus 50. Nice, easy, effective.
And it might feel like overcommitment. A lot of ults and big spells were expended, but low cooldowns, and there's no need to get any more than that if you're Alliance. You're winning the macro game, find kills where you can, and just control the map. They're going to play as 4 as Mickey continues to accelerate. He's going to have that Maelstrom on Courier and Root. There's no rush. You're feeling just fine with this.
Yep. They even see the defensive observer ward that was planted down by Infamous. So that, once against deep water, there's a sentry coming on the Courier to line at the moment. Once that's deep water, then there's got two river wards that Infamous can only see with. And they've lost control of the top lane. Like, so even if these wards are up, they can see Alliance moving, but they don't really feel like they can do much about it, or maybe they can. Smoke up, look for a target. Koifa jumps away. He's broken that smoke.
No.
Hey, that's not getting you down. When he can clarity and he can swish the Kaya in.
Yep. As you can see, like, this is still 4 cores to 2.5 right now. The Centaur, not really much of a game, and still Black is in his own jungle farming hard camp. I just can't see this working out well for Infamous if they continue to just allow the status quo to continue. Boxy plants himself on bottom, double bracer face, 1600 health. You're not going to be able to dive him too easily with that Wisp Gyro, so they're actually going to just rotate back into their own triple camp. But you need to link. You need to use spells. You need to try and find openings here.
But they don't have a gank option. Like, they don't have the ability to have that burst damage. So you're talking like they can't.
What do you mean? You have Ember Spirit, you have Bane, and a relocate.
It still doesn't feel like they got enough. Not against Alliance. Because who did they go on to get the kill? Apart from Lion, like, that's it.
Anybody. If you go in with if you open with a Bane sleep into a relocate, a target is dead. Doesn't matter who it is, someone is dead on the map. And Alliance have continuously split up around the map. Sure, they might be playing in duos now, 2 to a lane, but either way, it's more about the lack of effort that frustrates me, because you just won't win this game as Infamous unless you...
Lightning bolt up. Hoofstomp's never going to come. You've got the Tomato clapping down. Hester Joe easily picked off by Koifa, using that double damage rune just for the extra oomph of damage to get the kill through a Centaur who just finished up a Vanguard.
Look at the level disparity, man. Gyrocopter only level 8. I love the way Alliance are playing this, so split around the map. Still farming every lane as they make plays as 3 or 4.
They want to try and jump. Tiger's so close, but Lion's ready. Koifa still with the end of the DD rune. That call down, complete whiffs, airball. And Koifa just jumps. He's looking for bounty runes. He's looking for extra regeneration.
That's 5 heroes committed from Infamous. All they get is 1 bounty.
And Boxy's not even there. Like, Boxy's actually farming the bottom lane now. It was the Troll Warlord that was apart. Now it's just, it's Mars getting all the space he wants.
Koifa's going to TB back. I'd expect Alliance to get aggressive soon. They want to try and get another round of spells off. All the ults are off cooldown now.
Well, this is at least nice for Skidder. So the Maelstrom will be coming on the Courier as it makes its trek back home and then out again. So I'm starting to actually feel some damage starting to arrive for the Gyrocopter.
It's the levels that concern me, though, Toby. Your talent's quite nice, whether you get the health or the damage. You really want level 2 call down before the first huge engagement, and he doesn't have full points in flak yet either. Hester Joe, I believe, went for the Vanguard, which is nice, but you're against so much magical damage. It also removes your ability to get aggressive, as we've seen. They don't have that playmaker.
Yeah, he's going Evasion, he'll go Vanguard, he'll end up getting the Hood. This is a nice option for Alliance, but Infamous right behind him. Also, that Observer Ward I was talking about, that like Infamous potentially could have had dewarded that Alliance did see. They've never had a chance to go in and get rid of it. And in fact, it was Infamous who dewarded the Observer on the bottom lane. So there's only one Observer, actually there's 2 Observers left for Alliance. But it doesn't really feel like they're able to watch the farming areas of Infamous, so Black can just keep doing what he's doing. He just it's like he wants the conversion money. That's it, as well as the creep. So yeah, you'll take that. That's nice for Black. Good money.
Yeah, but they lose a tier 2 for it, Tobes. And if you can look at Infamous's movements, they're still kind of playing 5 around their own top jungle. This is just not a recipe for success as Alliance continue to play in all 3 lanes successfully.
God, that Observer Ward. Do they see?
Blink on Mars. You got to be careful here.
You want to look a little to the south there. Yeah, it's Skidder and Biver who are going to walk underneath the obs, and this is why Alliance know like no one's going to be attacking them.
They're just not concerned. In fact, they're going to rotate up here.
Oh, they're moving in. You've got Lion on the way over. Tiger looking to wrap around the back lines. He's got Black Hole available, but does he want to let it rip right now? They have to wait. Now the Black Hole's out, but Fiend's Grip cancelled. Here comes Ember Spirit. Look for the damage from Infamous to get the kill to finally bring one down. The Enigma will fall, but at the cost of both the IO and the Gyrocopter. Biver is low, but he blinks away. They thought he went to the tree lanes. No, they didn't. Black, he moves with it, but no Boxy. He's got one tree to protect him. They don't see. They don't know. He's in the trees and Black is leaving. They could have just looked around the corner, but of course, how couldn't you check every single tree in the forest? And now Hester Joe, oh, not like this. He's going to come out of the hiding place, Boxy, to skewer the Centaur against the tree and give Mickey the kill.
I just want to reiterate, Alliance is playing this game perfectly. Like, you know, I'm faulting Infamous for a lot of passivity here, but, you know, they kept Mickey mid. He farms, he kills mid tower, then he TPs top to get the exit kill. They're taking this engagement 3-on-5. Storm does arrive, but they're the ones that end up with 3 kills. And who did Infamous even take out? Was it just Taiga?
Yeah.
I believe so. So it's a 1 for
Enigma.
3, and they're still farming in more places than Infamous are. It's a 10k gold lead at 18 minutes, and I guarantee, were we able to see it, that experience lead would be even more so.
And Infamous. You know, I'm trying to remain as optimistic as I possibly can. That moment when Black started jumping in, I'm like, okay, maybe now we see the damage. Maybe now we see Infamous be Infamous. But when you lock Mars down inside of his, well, basically inside of his own ultimate, you are 2 heroes there fighting who are not hitting the walls.
Yeah. It's frustrating to me because this is that was sick from Tiger. I think they might have been able to set something up there, but it's frustrating to watch because, you know, when you see Liquid and you see Vici play this Wisp Gyro, right? The mid player recognizes that his job is a space maker. The Ember is not the key core in this game. It's about getting your gyro ahead.
They found Boxy. Maybe. Where's the distance closer? Something? Oh, okay. Double stun. They're away.
I could tell you who they need, but I've said it already.
You have.
And I don't want to continue to repeat myself, so instead we'll check out Tiger. Hey.
You got Black. Malphus stuns out. The Centaurs are moving over, but this is Bane smoking up, trying to come and help. Black's just farming up conversions to try and catch that money. He's still only 400-ish gold away. Okay, Fiend scripts up. Lion is very much isolated, and they just commit. No risk. Get the kill into Skitter. So Troll is definitely breaking ahead in the net worth. At least there's some money kicking back in.
I like this item pick among both as well. The Yules is nice. He's able to now remove the chains from Ember, and he can play way more aggressively because he knows he can always juke rocket if necessary. It's good to play around the Centaur as well. But the main issue is, if you look at Mickey's net worth, this is one of his signatures. Troll Warlord already 3,000 ahead of the game, showing no signs of slowing.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, Black's in trouble. TP's coming in.
And can he actually get out of this one? Insania's waiting around. He kind of wants Black to chase. And Black has the defensive spirit further up the lane, so he'll be away to safety.
And that BKB on the Gyrocopter is going to be your first big timing. The mech out on Biver. This is the tools you need if you're going to take a decisive fight. A BKB Gyro fears next to nothing in these engagements, save perhaps that black hole from Taiga. The physical damage of Mickey won't be quite enough to Zerg him down, and he is level 12 as well, which is that big power spike in terms of damage output.
I'll relocate, going down to bottom lane. As well, we should be switching, as already Boxy was trapped in. They held him in position for a while, but then Boxy, he's actually jumped now. Where's your black hole? Here it comes in from Tiger, catching out two, pulling it back in with a finger of death. Ember is gone. Heads to Joe will join him in the afterlife, and Skidder, for all the damage that he did, he gets relocated back out, stranding Pepita all by himself. Alliance will take 3. Mars was the sacrifice that Infamous really jumped onto. But now they'll lose their bottom towers. Troll is up, which means they push so fast.
Yeah, they were around that tower for far too long, Toby. You could tell after Black was backlanding, then Remnant's back. Alliance have a very good idea of what's about to happen here. They see the Gyro IO top. They know that the other 3 heroes are off map. They do a great job ensuring they're set up and ready to rock and roll. I said the Gyro BKB was a big timing, but unfortunately, Mickey's Troll also has one in addition to an extra item, and he's got 6 levels on the Gyro. He is level 18. Now it's just 5, but either way, Like, this is not a negligible difference.
5 is still pretty big. Like, that's like playing Underlords and you're about 4 pieces behind. It's like, okay, well, you know what? I think I'm kind of screwed here. And how much money have I got in my bank to get me out of this? 14-5 on the board, 22 minutes in, a 12k gold advantage. So they'll have another pause so Infamous can think about where the hell they are. They at least showed they have some level of damage, but it always feels like they have to group up too much. They can get caught in by the Enigma's hole. He's giving them such insane sustain.
You just give Alliance, we talk a lot about BKB piercing disables, and it's something that I stress over and over as a tool to win games. And when yours is a Bane Grip and the enemy's is a BKB Black Hole, you're going to be in trouble as the game drags on. And Infamous, I don't believe, respected that, one, Alliance has the late game here. Two, and they're all on comfort heroes. You've got to try and take them out of their comfort zone, not just allow them to play the lanes they want and farm freely. Like, this has been a rule going back to the Han days. When you're playing against an Enigma, right, you got to pressure. You've got to try and abuse the lack of early game that Alliance have. These supports are very squishy. Lion Enigma will just feed to rotations, whether that's the Centaur, the Ember, or the Gyro. But if you all just camp your lanes as you lose them, there's not much that's going to go down. Some lag, so we'll have a bit of a pause here.
And it seems some music.
Groovy.
I didn't know if we're actually going conga line for a moment. Like that'll be even more amusing. Like, dun, 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 dun. Hey.
I don't know how you hear. How do you hear this and think conga line?
I didn't. As I said, I wanted conga line. I never.
No, but
I'm never happy with the music I receive.
Well, Insania is certainly happy because they're sitting in a pause, and he's like, "Well, guys."
It's like, hey guys, I think we might be doing well this tournament. I think we may be like, hey, do you feel like they do any damage? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is a great situation to be in, and I think, especially when you're, think about Alliance. If there was a team, now that I'm not playing anymore, okay, because it would have been probably my team, unfortunately, that would have had this distinction, but if there was a team in Dota that would benefit most from timeouts, okay, strategy pauses, right? Coach gets to come into the room for a quick 30 seconds, provide a pep talk and a breakdown, it would be Alliance. Because I swear that they could take this, prevent that one big mistake that I feel separates them from those teams a tier above them, because talent-wise they're on par, drafting-wise they're on par. It's just that the execution at times is not up to snuff when you compare it to squads like Liquid, even teams like NIP, who they went toe-to-toe with at the minor, 3-2 defeat to make it to this tournament.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels like Alliance is just trying to have a little bit too much fun.
I respect that.
Yeah, but they're an absolute laugh whenever they're at events. So like these guys are cool. I hope they keep qualifying for events and continue to play high quality Dota, because if they can beat Infamous here, their battle against RNG should be fantastic as well. And their run to TI9 is not done. And this is a fantastic start. It's always a risky thing going into a best of one lower bracket. There's teams that already had to face up against this. Fnatic got knocked out yesterday. But you had Pain getting knocked out yesterday as well.
Here's the thing, though. More importantly, Toby, the headsets don't match the jerseys. And my immersion has been utterly destroyed. Infamous, maybe they're losing this game, but check out that. You see that? That's what we call color scheme matching.
Okay.
I like to see it.
Are you sure, though? I thought it matches for Razer. Like, it matches the patch on the side. That's a HyperX matchup, and that is a sponsor. You can see it on their shoulder, I'm fairly certain. So you got the green.
Those are not the same colors.
What? No, you got the green, but then you see, like, you've got the green. Okay, yeah, it's lighter green.
What do you, like, Toby?
It's forest green versus snot green. There goes my Razer endorsement.
In fact, there's like 4 different greens on there. There's the monster green, the Razer green, the green on the uniform, and then the headsets. It's really on Razer. They got to get with the program.
I'm sorry. Okay, Razer, can we have unique headsets made for these Alliance players that match their jerseys?
Didn't they? I think the Alliance just changed the color of their uniform. There's no way it was that color green before. I think that was part of the rebrand.
At least they didn't change their logos like,
Can we relax?
Pro changeover.
Well,
what about the lime green of ESL?
Oh, God.
Let me find a headset in that color.
Everybody wants to be different nowadays, all right? I got simple rules when it comes to crafting a wardrobe. I think pro esports teams could follow them as well. You start with a blue or a gray, or if you really want to keep it classic, maybe black and white, right? and then you go off of that. You don't need neon green and yellow. Looking at, well, I'm not going to name LTO. And you definitely don't need orange and purple.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's not expensive. You can find all of these outfits down at your local thrift store.
It's true. At some point, I want to write a guide about thrifting. I feel like people don't really understand how much you can find at those places. Plus, shopping is really a stressful experience, right? You go in, you're like, oh, I want a pair of pants. And then there's 40 different colors of pants in 7 different styles. And you're like, well, I don't really want to try these on. But then you do, and none of them really fit. And you're like, well, this is a complete and utter waste of time. Plus, they're really expensive. Whereas you go to some sort of secondhand shop, you just see one thing you like. There's no other one. There's no bigger size. It's like, oh, this one. Is it my size? Yes. Does it fit? Beautiful. Plus, then you're just kind of finding something randomly. It's like fate wanted you to have this specific article of clothing.
You know, you can do that in these like I think it's like called like TJ Maxx in London, in England.
Yeah, they have those.
Yeah, like this is just the rejects from different stores, and yeah, you won't find different sizes, but maybe you just find that right one. Like I never knew about that until Red Eye actually showed me.
It's funny because I do a lot of shopping there when I'm back in the States. I think it's partly because, you know, since I was rejected by my team, I now enjoy dressing myself in clothing that was also rejected. It kind of just fits the brand profile I'm building for myself.
You really are the inner body of North American reject.
I like that dude's shirt. That's cool.
Actually, you never got to play for NAR. I think it was Fogged who played for NAR, right?
Correct. I was on the team that beat NAR in the TI5 qualifiers. Shout out to my boy Fogged. Hope you're watching.
Yeah, how did TI5 go for you again? We got 2 people from that roster
guys,
in our talent pool right here. He may not have played, but he's hosting right now.
Only one team can win TI, and it just so happens I was on one of the 15 teams that didn't. You know, it's no shame in that.
Wait, you didn't even get to play in TI technically. You played in the
That's TI
wild
6,
card.
Toby. Thanks, though. Good to know that you've followed my career closely over the year and a half we've worked together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You need to actually reach a TI grand final before you get noticed.
It's just a low
How's
blow.
it feel that I've been in more TI grand finals than you?
Well, is that supposed to impress me? you. Never mind. We're into the game.
We're back to the game. Let's move on. All right. So Infamous. We come out of the pause. Maybe with this, they've had a little bit of time to think and get themselves back on track. Work out a game plan. Give us something new, Kyle. Give us something different. They gave us a 4-man smoke and already broke 2 of them.
Indeed.
And they're ganking top lane. They're going after the
Mars again. Anyone but Mars.
It's like, I'm just going to rebuke your attempt.
Yeah.
What is it? It's the starts with a B. I
have no idea what you're talking about.
His block.
Bulwark.
The front
yeah,
Bulwark.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to use the line that just like humanity has difficulty reaching Mars, so does Team Infamous.
Hey, Elon Musk will get us there. Storm. Woo! Almost found his brother Spirit.
Yeah. This is looking...
It's actually pretty confident. Good. Black went back down again. He rooted up Koifa. Now Pepita's coming in from the side.
Oh, the
Yule Center up will allow them to get the Fiend's Grip. No! He couldn't get the little claws.
You don't have the ability to do so. I think Black, he would have needed chains up to be able to make that work. You will never be able to get a Bane spell off against a Storm with no previous lockdown.
Kind of started with that. So instead, they look towards the top lane as Tiger's adding his own pressure.
Yeah, dude, you might, at some point, though, you're going to need to get a little more aggressive if you're Alliance, because we've seen what Io Gyro can do, and no matter how farmed your team is, no matter how many cores you have...
Oh, hi, Tiger. Oh, anyone bring a stun? Well, poop. At least the homing missile is global, so they'll chase him.
DD outside of Roche. They're going to try and save it for the Ember Spirit. He's going to remnant down.
Alliance is smoking up, however. They're moving over towards Roshan.
Oh, they get a grip.
Now they're with a Fiend's Grip. Storm. He just jumps so far into the back line. He's just to catch out the Bane. You'll Scepter up, so you'll have no guard, but the perfect skewer in.
Right into the pit.
Lock him up, and then the stun. Lion actually hitting with the Earth Spike up into Skitter Box. He's just a little bit trapped. He's still got BKB. He'll let the wall up, and now you actually really feel the lack of damage from Infamous with a finger of death. They still haven't killed off Piva. He has the mech to give him the extra life back as Insania plays in the tree lines, but Alliance have gone Roshan. This Lion is purely bait to waste Infamous's time so Alliance can complete the job, and they're not even guaranteed the kill. Okay, now they're guaranteed the kill with a Hoof Stomp. But the sacrifice is Aegis the Immortal into Troll Warlord. the license to push and dive from Alliance.
I really like that decisiveness from Alliance. It's tough to learn as a newer team, but they popped the BKB, the Mars ult, and of course Insania trades his life, but it's fine because Mickey never hesitates. He's in the Roche Pit 100%.
That's so cool. They actually waited to pick up the bounty rune. They didn't want to reveal it. The Observer saw the Io and Gyro coming in, but they wanted to make sure there was no announcement, nothing, and now it's another rune going the way of Alliance. The trap was perfectly set.
Yeah, and it is not looking good for our boys. The last hope of the South American region here in this BO1. Alliance starting to march down Aegis on Mickey. 2 dead. Not much you can do, and Black's got to be careful because there's just so much jump potential from Alliance. Insania respawning, TPing back down. Storm's looking to zip.
As long as Troll can get those stacks up, you just keep beating into the tower. They're running out of creep wave.
And Bloodstone finished as well. I like this from Alliance. You do a little bit of chip damage. You've got the Bloodstone finish, but you can see Insania drawing lines. Mickey's going to push out mid. Insania's like, we're going to play around this area. There's a creep top pushing as well. So you just do the camp of this bottom shrine. You can cut mid and bottom quite easily, and then eventually Infamous will step out of position, and you've got the insane zip range of the Storm, who is also going to grab an Arcane rune. Ugh.
Yeah. That moment when there's just one too many things you're hitting with your sleight of fist and they can close the distance. But no instant stun from Alliance available. But that's all the remaining outer towers of Infamous being dropped. And Alliance with a Blink Dagger Enigma, they want to initiate. They want to jump forward. Bokti also able to do the same thing, actually hitting Black. They just keep pushing him around with the Finger of Death. Puts down the Ember Spirit. Buyback is available, but he came out just a little bit too far. And Boxy, it's cheaper than a Blink Skewer. It's a Blink Spear. Now, another jump. That one won't be able to connect, however. Namek already being triggered, and Storm Spirit jumps in the back lines. Hex already out. Hesijo being pulled in. They want a Nightmare to buy a little bit more time to get out, but then the wall, it'll start to arrive. Pin him up against the side of it as Mickey, he wants to rejoin this fight, but Quimp is doing all the work for him instead. And Mickey, he gets the Whirling Axis off a Fiend Script from Pepita. He'll create a little bit more space, but the instant you're from the black hole, it's caught 3. Hold him in position and slap him down. Mickey, he's finally got the Aegis Immortal pop. Black has to get some kind of damage in before this Troll comes back to life again, but he's up, he's spinning, he's looking for some blood. The Stampede forward, Infamous already committing double buybacks as well. Koifa got a little bit more mana left. Boxy, he's finally going to go down. Black with triple kill, the same thing for Koifa, and maybe now they can finally get through the Troll Warlord. Infamous, they hold strong. It looked like they were going into the void of Enigma, but they dragged themselves out and defy gravity.
Yeah, but they lost gold on the Gyro and the Centaur, Toby, because they used 4 buybacks to do so.
Hey, you hold the line, you get some kind of win in this game so far.
The gold lead didn't really change much in their favor, though, unfortunately, and a lot of Bloodstone charges now on Koifa, who ended up with a triple kill after all was said and done. I think they did lose the gem, however. Pepita's picked it up, which is a nice win. It's just that now you're in a position where you're still playing against this crazy high burst and initiation potential of Alliance, and now you know there's no buybacks on course. So you got to play flawlessly for the next 6 or 7 minutes, or Alliance will take one opening, a hero will be dead for 100 seconds, and then they just rampage through your base. Yep. And they still have great vision placed by Insania in these 2 lanes. They see a lot in this bottom lane. It's deep, that's the key. They're deep wards that'll catch Infamous running back to or out of their base.
And I definitely get you, man. Alliance is still in the driver's seat, but Infamous, against an Aegis Troll, they were able to not lose a tier 3 tower. They were able to hold the line. There's something, the cost has to be worth the squeeze.
Sure, but unlike in the 2 towers, Toby, there's no Gandalf and
look to the west.
Coming on the 6th day here. It's Infamous alone, trapped inside the keep. And currently, I think perhaps if they get the butterfly into next item on the Gyro, things could start to shift, but as you can see, Alliance have no intention of allowing this to happen. They're going to immediately try and make a smoke move. They've got great vision, as you can see. They saw the Ember move towards that top area of the jungle. There's a circle drawn on the minimap that currently has 4 Infamous heroes inside of it.
I think they're heading to the right place. McKay's going to reveal himself in mid. I'm not seeing a ping from Infamous arriving for it. And in fact, they need to start turning around.
They're running away from the shrine.
They're on low ground. They're not on top of their shrine. Boxy, he doesn't get the wall up. Skidder, Kuiper's trying to drag him back in. Do they have enough hits to bring him down? They're trying. Mickey, he's almost dead, but the BKB, he'll trigger in time with the Fiend Strip, controlling the Troll with the call down. It's not enough damage because still protected by their own BKBs. Alliance, this is fire spin to 3 different parts. Kuiper's in way too deep. Black wants to come in for the kill. Secure with the side of fist. They've actually got him. Kuiper's dead for so long. He has buyback available. Not going to commit it as Mickey wants to try and fight right into Skidder. He's able to get the kill. Tiger looking to help out, but Black, he's still rampaging forward on the front lines, but Box is coming back for his own fight. That Bane is so low, trying to be useful in some way, shape, or form. But the Aya will probably end up going down in the tree lines. Mickey, he's finding the closer distance with the extra stun from Insania. They keep the control in time. So Wisp, as well as Gyro, do take a fall. Kuiper loses his life, and he bought back as well.
He did. Alliance, they initiated on the only player they really can't. The Gyrocopter, he's tethered by the Wisp. He's got so much regen. The Met coming out, healing him for near 900. And what? It's just not the play. He also has a BKB, so it's not as if you can hard commit on him either. Boxy whiffing the ultimate completely.
He's dead for a long time, however. And that's where Alliance can push. Like, they're going to come straight up mid, a double damage room for the Troll because, hey, why not? Yeah, with a Satanic, SMY Maelstrom. This is a hard thing. The Courier. Oh, no!
Oh my God.
Well, that's a game.
Oh,
that's
boy.
game. It's actually game. That's all the damage. that's everything they needed. Well, crap.
Well, sometimes
Storm's going to jump in, looking to actually get the kill over off of Peter. There's your skewer, actually pins him up against the racks. With the Finger of Death, they find the kill. Boxy having to actually burn the BKB already, but that's just Hesijo. Wolf stomping out, the melee racks is taken, and that's 2 lanes of racks gone. They'll at least have time for the Courier to respawn and give them their items back, but Infamous are a lane and a half of racks down.
God. Alliance is going to know that the Courier's dead as well. They might not expect there to be items of that.
Yeah, they may not have seen it.
Thing is that it's just so simple for them to regroup, rotate around, push out the lanes. Because now you can just play bottom, the lanes will push in, you get the vision that you need, and then Storm's got a free game. I'd like to see Koiva just finish a BKB, though. I understand why he wants the Orchid, but realistically, if he can just initiate hard.
We're going to watch the Courier die again, aren't we? Boxy. Got it.
You know, never mind. I was thinking about it, how I hate to see that replay. There's a couple of replays I hate to see. And, you know, that's just, it just hurts.
Yeah.
It's flashbacks, Tobes.
Yeah, assault in a very open wound. And it's still a fresh wound as well. Infamous.
They even glyph to preserve the creep wave bottom. Just to annoy Infamous.
Well, it doesn't look like Infamous at any point is going to be threatening the Alliance base, and it's 27,000. Experience advantage 22k, 27k on the goal. BKB now up from Tiger, coming on their Courier.
And a blink.
And a blink, yep.
Orchid, yeah, they're just ensuring they get all the items they need. They know that the buybacks are still on cooldown for a little bit, and it's not as if they're in a huge hurry. But I do like this. Demonstrates a bit of discipline here. They could just wait for next Roche. It will be spawning in a couple of moments. But really no pressure on Alliance here.
Yeah, and they don't want to take any risks. We've talked about it before from Alliance. Like you want a game to come back close and become really exciting. Alliance will be the team that will allow that to happen. Top lane was a little bit shaky with their initiation, but it wasn't terrible. Like, they knew what they would still get out at the end. Like, okay, Infamous is dead for a very long time because of that previous push, because of the previous buybacks. So they knew they were going to take a lane of racks, even if that fight went poorly. That would be why Koiva probably bought back. It's like, okay, guys, let's move.
Yeah. He's got the gem, too, so they're going to clean up the vision where they can. Mjolnir finished on Mickey. And I like to see this. You look at this, every hero on Alliance without buyback. Why? Because they've spent their gold on items. You don't need a buyback when you're going to be fighting inside the enemy base.
Well, Dire's Courier has finally respawned, so it's a Radiance that is completed over on the Ember Spirit. Yeah. Satanic has arrived for Mars with a Butterfly for the Gyrocopter. So all the Tier 3 items have now arrived.
But you've got a Radiance, sure, but there's 3 BKBs on the enemy team. Black and...
It doesn't feel like it's going to be able to achieve much, even if the BKB timing is dropping a little lower. Skidder, for some reason, decided that he is a non-smoker. Same with the IO. They're going to be almost like bait together. But
dude, Boxy has a Satanic.
Yeah, he got a Satanic.
And he's just going to walk up the high ground.
Yeah, he's just walking into him.
He
Should
doesn't
be
care.
wanted that as Boxy now triggers the BKB. The wall comes up, pin him up against the wall, and they realize that Infamous have no damage. Ember is dead, Black dead for over 100 seconds with nothing he can do. A quick stun and Tiger, BKB Black Hole for Peter. I think the
nice
Yule
Yules.
Scepter off. They actually just called GG right now. Infamous understand it. There is nothing more they can do in this game or in this tournament. Alliance will win the best of one and eliminate Infamous from EPICENTER.